Okay, all right. I lied. There's one more to go. One more. That's it. And then it kicks straight into it, right into the deep end, like it gets full on, straight off the bat. So one more. We'll stick through it, and then we'll get straight into the actual statements of the witnesses. So this is Commissioner Palmer, and he's just giving a little intro statement as well. So yeah, it's a bit dull, a bit like the previous one we just watched, but stick through it. It's only 5 minutes. Very important information. So let's just get it out there. All right.
Morning, Chairman Johnson and members of the committee and the ranking member. I'm thankful for the opportunity to testify before you this morning on the 2020 general election and the efforts of the Election Assistance Commission to secure the nation's voting systems. Election officials, the commissioners, and the staff of the EAC have a duty to ensure the accuracy and integrity of the voting systems used throughout the nation. Our mission is to support the chief election officials, the directors of elections and administrators in all localities across the country. As the only federal agency completely dedicated to election administration, the EAC is charged with facilitating secure, lawful, and accessible elections. Under the Help America Vote Act, the EAC is focused on assisting state and local election officials. We are a bipartisan agency that recognizes the authority of states to conduct federal elections, and that is a cornerstone of our representative democracy. The 2020 general election has underscored the vital importance of comprehensive oversight of voting technology and the companies who manufacture these systems. That oversight is an overlapping process of voluntary federal standards, state certification or approval, and local logic and accuracy testing prior to each election. We work to bolster confidence in democracy by adopting voluntary voting system guidelines periodically. We test voting systems, we accredit test laboratories, and serve as a national clearinghouse of information on election administration. Let me be clear. The EAC has confidence in the voting systems we certify and in the state and local election administrators who ran the election. First and foremost, that's due to the process the voting system manufacturers must undergo to receive federal certification. Before voting machines and election management systems are used in elections, the systems undergo rigorous hardware and software testing by laboratories accredited by the EAC and the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST. There are currently 2 accredited voting system laboratories, ProV&V and SLI. Currently, the EAC's quality monitoring program includes auditing voting system test laboratories and manufacturing facilities, conducting field reviews of EAC certified voting systems, and gathering information on voting system anomalies on EAC certified voting systems. I strongly support additional auditing, additional field reviews, and resolutions of any anomalies discovered. To apply for EAC certification of a voting system, a company must first apply to register with the agency as a registered manufacturer. Registration requires manufacturers to provide details on their ownership structure, names of officers and members of the board of directors, and any individual or organization with a controlling interest in the company. Additionally, a list of all manufacturing or assembly facilities used by the manufacturer and the name and contact information of the person at each facility responsible for quality management must be provided.
Wow, that is insanely thorough. That's exactly how much needs to be dug in to these companies. That makes sense. Everything he just said makes perfect sense. So why haven't they gone through these guys? Has Dominion gone through either of those? Let them go over it again. Let them go over it again. If they've been through it already, right now, before January 6th, go over those machines that we used. See if there was anything sus going on.
Currently 8 active manufacturers registered with the EAC's testing program. Please note it is not a requirement to be an EAC registered manufacturer to develop and sell voting systems to jurisdictions in the United States. It's a voluntary program.
Of course
Joining
not.
the program requires the manufacturers voluntarily agree to the program's requirements as outlined in the program manual. Requirements include complying with all EAC inquiries and investigations into the uses and status of fielded EAC certified systems. Under our quality monitoring program, these investigations may arise due to technical failures experienced in the field by election administrators, misrepresentations made in regard to the certification status of a voting system, and any deviations in quality in regard to those systems submitted to testing versus what is actually fielded. The EAC staffed an Election Day war room to gather information on issues reported by the media and election officials. 5 of the 8 manufacturers participated in those calls. Additionally, the program is following up with election officials and voting system manufacturers to obtain any information on claims of irregularities reported in the media during the general election. This effort is ongoing. Jurisdictions across the United States also perform a series of logic and accuracy tests prior to operating those voting machines in polling places. We support those efforts through technical assistance and best practices and our grant monies. Election officials conduct post-election audits to verify the completeness and accuracy of the tabulated votes. I'm going to conclude with stating that we recognize the need to do more than ever to strengthen the confidence in the integrity of our elections. HAVA set forth an ambitious agenda for the EAC, one rooted in protecting the foundation of our democracy. Despite the challenges in recent years, the EAC has faithfully fulfilled its obligation and even expanded the support it provides to election administrators and to voters. We look forward to working with Congress in a bipartisan manner as we continue our efforts to help America vote. I'm happy to answer any questions following this testimony. Thank you.
Wow. I mean, very dull, and he read the entire thing, but, you know, very complex, all the stuff he was talking about. So, I mean, I'd probably be reading as well. Thanks for sticking through it. Next one to come is, well, they're in person, and they just slam right into it. So stay tuned for that one. But, yeah, this was very revealing. It'd be very interesting to know if Dominion is registered with these guys, if they have volunteered to have that happen. It would also be good if those companies there, or organizations, I don't know if they're companies, if they do an investigation between now and January 6th. And then we can find out definitively and on the record if any of the machines have been affected in any way. So, I mean, I hope they are doing that as we speak, but I don't have that information, so I can't tell you, sorry. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share it around. Let's get this going. Stay tuned for the next one. It is going to be a cracker. All right, see you then.